Hey guys, just back with another strategy video for you guys. So this is trading strategy. This trading strategy requires trend lines with breaks by LuxAlgo and heat map. And the heat map indicator, you can just type in heat, and it's by xdecow. So it might be called heat or HVol. You guys can search it and find it. So this strategy is not my preferred strategy, but some people's trading strategy requires trend lines. For me, it's not really my strategy. My go-to is more like MACDs and stuff, moving averages and stuff like that. So basically, the way the strategy works is after you add the indicators by just going to tradingview.com, typing in trend lines with breaks, so it's the first one by LuxAlgo. Actually, I believe you have to change the slope to 1.3 as well. So once you do that, you can test which one's better, 1.3 or default slope. So I changed the slope to 1.3. You can test if just the default one's better. Personally, I don't like this strategy because when it breaks, you don't know if it's really just breaking for a little bit or coming back. So I feel like the win rate is less compared to like other strategies out there. But some people really like trend lines and they don't use indicators, they just use price action, so maybe this works for them. So this video is for you guys. Volume I never really use, but you guys might like it. For example, so the way the strategy works is that when you get the signal, for example, a break of the support trend line right here, where the crosshair is up here, that when the heat map lights up to like a color, either like yellow, orange, or red, then that shows that the trade is, it has a lot of volume coming in for that trade, so it can increase your win rate, or it can increase the results. So I like the 4-hour chart. I've seen this strategy being used on the 5-minute and 15-minute. So some people may like that. Actually, I think it was 15, but 5. You can also use it on the 5. Personally, stick to the 4-hour. That's my advice. Maybe in this case, the daily, or even higher time frames, because it's just a kind of like a break, and it's kind of like a strategy where you don't really require. It can pretty much be used on any time frame, I guess. That's the point of it. So like here's a break of support, but the thing is, it broke, but it came back up. So that's where I get confused. For me personally, like, see, it got the signal here. It broke down the trend line from this point. So that line down there, that support line, broke, but the next signal went up. So it's like confusing for me. So perhaps you can use a stop with an ATR. If you guys don't know how to do that, you just type in average true range. No, that's not day range. My mistake. ATR, average true range. So what you do, for example, is if you're long right now, then that's going to be pretty much a 1, is it 100, more than 100 pips? Is that 1,000? No, that is 100 pips. I think the stop here is 100 pips. So you take that number and you can multiply it by 1.5 or 1 or 2. So it's up to you how far you want your stop to be. Whoops, that's too much. Let's go back here. Okay, so this makes more sense. So it's going to be 75 pips for your stop here on the 4 hour. So it's one way to place a stop. You use the average true range. So here you take, if you're long here, you then take the 0.736, which is 73.6 pips. You either take it as a 1.0 ATR, so you just take the current price minus 73.6 pips, or I believe a lot of people do 1.5. So some people take that, so 0.7, so 0.736 times 2 would be like 140, so maybe like around 125 pips. So if you multiply that number by 1.5, then that'll be the number of pips away from the current price you want to place your stop below. So that helps you place stops. You can also multiply by 2 if you want as well. So it's up to you. That's just a way to place stops for this strategy, because I guess you could also use a moving average as a stop as well. That's what I do. That's my choice of stop, is a moving average, a shorter period moving average, a reconnect to it, or pretty much a reconnect to it is the stop. But that's, some people like ATR, some people just like visual stops. So for me, an ATR would be better because you can use it in an expert advisor. So if you use it in an expert advisor, you can code it and turn it into a bot, so that kind of works better rather than like a visual placement. Anyway, so for example, right now there is no current, it's still low volume, like it's the start of the Asian session. Volume doesn't really pick up that much till maybe another hour or so. For example, here was 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, either New York or London. Rarely see, for me, 1400 hours is the opening of the day candle, because I'm on Pacific time. I'm 3 hours behind New York, so the 2000 hours, 6 o'clock candle for me is usually when volume starts to pick up, but still it's not very volume. There's not very much volume in that candle. Usually pre-London, like 2200 hours is when the volume starts to pick up, and then London and then New York is like when the volume's highest. So yeah, so if you guys are seeing a signal and the volume bar is turning yellow, orange, or red, and you're getting a break of the trend line, then you guys take the signal. That's pretty much how it works. So maybe you guys will find it useful. Perhaps it might work. I haven't tested it really. So here's a signal, and then you got the break of the structure with the volume bar increasing. The problem is that the volume bar can turn pretty much be the same color depending whether it's going up or down. So this volume indicator is good either way. I might do a video on it later on with my own strategy. So yeah. Hope you guys like the strategy. For people that like trend lines, pretty much any other good signals here, maybe this one. So we got the signal to break down the support line. You have to test it out. I recommend the 4 hour. 4 hours is good. It trades the session, whereas the day could be high for the day. Could be like making new highs in the Asian session. It could be making new lows by the London session. So it could change. So I recommend staying with the 4 hour chart. It's pretty standard. It's a standard chart across like MT4, MT5, Trading View, maybe even like pretty much every charting software will have the 4 hour chart. So it's a standard chart. Yeah, so you guys can use it, test it out. 4-hour chart can be really good. A lot of people are asking me about using these signals on like the 1 minute and 5 minute. I tell them no, just use it on the 4-hour chart. So take once again, just to recap, if the signal is pointing like, I believe there's a super Ichi in here somewhere. I don't see it. I think it's trend lines with breaks with a super Ichi. I have no idea where the super Ichi is. I just see these arrows coming up. The B represents break, I think. So if the B is like a red B pointing down, that means short. If it's breaking the signal support, then you short. And if the volume bar is turning yellow, then you short, pretty much. You have to have all three conditions. So you get the short signal, the B arrow pointing down, short signal, breaks the trend line, volume turns yellow, orange, or red. Take the short. You can use the ATR as your stop, as mentioned earlier. And for a long, you wait for the B arrow to pop up with the B, capital B, arrow pointing up. You wait for the trend line to break, or you just take the B signal, whichever comes first, and then you take if the volume's turning yellow, don't take the signal until the volume's turning yellow, orange, or red to show the high volume. So this is a pretty good volume indicator. It's better than the standard trading view one. So there you go. Maybe we'll just check out what else is happening here. There's a pretty big one. That was a huge sell-off, obviously, but yeah. Nothing here though, no signals here for any break, so that's interesting. No volume coming in right now, obviously, as mentioned, because it's a low volume sessions. Japan hasn't even opened up yet. It's just about opening up, I think. China's not opening up till 6 o'clock. I think it's only Australia and New Zealand has been open until this time, so it's still opening up. Let's see. US CAD. No breaks here. Pretty big one for USD JPY. Coming down to the support, it looks like. Interesting how it kind of touched that level. Nothing on there. Swiss franc. Showing a break recently. Might have been a nice signal. No volume coming in though. So that was at open. Open today. No, 10 o'clock. So New York, it had a break. Had a continuation. So there you go. You guys might like it. Maybe I might like it too. We'll see. I don't think it'll be better than the strategy that I have already, but that's the one I use in my other videos, so you guys can check that out, just like my daily market analysis videos if you guys are interested in which strategy I use. I just use MACD and moving averages, well, 2 MACDs, but this might be interesting too, just to see how these signals work, so check it out. If you guys like the channel, if you guys like the video, you can like and subscribe for more trading, investing videos, coding videos, or both. Thanks for watching, and take care.